Jack-8 is the latest and greatest model of the Jack line of robots, and this time he's kitted out for all-out war. Jack uses his massive range and raw power to control and break down opponents with all the efficiency of a war machine. Unlike most other characters, Jack's lead jab is with the right hand and has enormous reach. Due to this, jab elbow smash is Jack's favorite assessment protocol. Fast, safe, and most importantly, able to catch opponents that keep trying to break loose from his pressure. Try as they will, some of Jack's core tools are incredibly oppressive, almost always allowing him to end an interaction by forcing a 50-50 mix-up. Moves like Jackhammer and Piston Gun Snipe are key to his offense due to their incredibly commanding hitbox, newly added stance transitions, and sizable rewards both on hit or on block. Overheat and Piston Gun Blaster also complement this idea by taking advantage of Jack's immensely far-reaching limbs to pester those who try to move away or keep dancing in and out of his optimal range. In case a whiff is spotted, programmed uppercut and Tealpin Blast are sure to lead into great damage, but they can also alternatively be used as very effective yet somewhat risky keep-out tools. Jack is at his best though when he manages to get inside the opponent's head, utilizing fast, low-risk pokes such as Machine Gun Blast and Big Boot, both of which leave him recovering in a crouched state to chip away at the opponent's psychological and in-game health. While crouching, Jack has a myriad of options that can quickly net him a life lead, namely Toe Smash to keep it nice and simple, V-Twin with its deceptively good range and chance to capitalize off of its counter-hit launching follow-up, or the noticeably reanimated Pulverizer and its new follow-up, looping Jack's offense back around on itself whilst dissuading punishment. However, Jack isn't without flaws, as he usually finds himself struggling against equally oppressive playstyles due to his inherently slower movement and chunkier hurtbox, in which case leaning into pinpoint assault might be a good idea, since it works really well as a situational neutral reset. Jack-8 really kicks it into high gear whenever the heat timer is ticking, unlocking powerful chip damage and a deadlier version of his monstrous mix-up potential thanks to a highly overclocked version of the Gamma Howl stance. Most notably, during the entirety of the duration of the heat timer, Jack has a permanent Gamma Charge, beefing up moves such as Jaguar Hook, a homing mid-launcher, and Exiton Blast, a guard-breaking high that leads into great damage with follow-ups, especially when paired with his heat smash, Meteor Raid. In practice, Meteor Raid is an improved version of Pinpoint Assault, endowing it with incredible chip damage and safety on block, as well as a guaranteed knockdown on hit, making it a great move to throw out regardless of the situation, as you'll always be rewarded for it. Chip damage is the name of the game when Jack is in heat, especially when it comes to his charge moves. Two particular standouts are Piston Gun Assault and Power Shovel, that when used in tandem, create a particularly nasty situation for the opponent to deal with. Jack compounds grey health damage with interest. The common theme unifying Jack's changes coming into Tekken 8 is the shift from a somewhat passively oriented character to an aggressive bully that proactively capitalizes on mistakes by piling on tons of pressure and chip damage. Something that the newly introduced Mimesis Charging Tackle encapsulates really well, as it lets Jack close the distance whilst remaining on the offensive. This is also reflected in the changes to Jackhammer, that now forces opponents to crouch rather than knocking them down on normal hit, setting them up perfectly for his options out of Gamma Howl. Speaking of Gamma Howl, it takes up a pretty significant chunk of Jack-8's strategy, primarily due to the combined might of Full Metal Death Blow with its strong chip damage, Juggernaut Hook's homing capability, and particle barrier's defensive utility as a power crush heat engager that snuffs out any attempt at interrupting the stance's pressure. To further round out Gamma Howl's options, Jack's been blessed with a very familiar-looking throw in Mimesis Overkill, a powerful option that forces opponents to duck. Pour one out for Gigas. Some other standout introductions come in the form of Merkaba Headbutt, an incredibly long-range whiff punisher, Terra Pulsar, a forward-advancing mid-range low that deals no damage but forces opponents into a crouching state, and Two-Step Die's speed and versatility, all playing into their transitions to Gamma Howl. Some nerfs have been felt though, namely to Pulverizer, one of Jack's most iconic lows, and is no longer safe on block by itself. However, the introduction of V Death Blow to Jack's crouching repertoire more than offsets this change. Regardless, thanks to an overall stronger throw game due to system changes, and buffs to punishment in the form of Mimesis Psych Press and Mimesis Savage Knee, these adjustments are hardly enough to make a dent in Jack's fantastic arsenal and newfound power. Jack's changes very closely reflect the change of direction in Tekken 8 overall. Whereas before he was always more of a defensively inclined character, who boxed out opponents with his enormous range. Changes to key moves like the Jackhammer shift him towards a much more aggressive playstyle. The shift towards aggression makes him very overwhelming, but more committal and risky than before. Jack has always struggled when under pressure himself due to his bulky frame, and this is also no different. Still, whereas before, Jack's pressure was only really scary near the wall, now he's capable of stealing rounds with a few good reads anywhere on the stage. If you're looking for a character who can coldly and methodically break down the opponent's defenses with all the efficiency of a machine, then get your gears into action with Jack-8. Recently, I tuned into the Arc World Tour, a tournament which showcases the best talent from around the world in Arc system games. Even though I'm mostly known as a Tekken player, I love all fighting games, and Arc system games are some of the most original, exciting, and innovative out there. Since they're also so different from Tekken, I love dipping into them for a nice change of pace. The Arc World Tour showcased Guilty Gear Strive, Under Night in Birth 2, and Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, and was super fun. These are all great games, but my personal favorite out of all of them is Guilty Gear Strive. Now is a great time to dip into it with Season 3 in full swing, and it seems like my guy, Slayer, is gonna join the roster soon, and I cannot wait to land a fat pile bunker in some drippy slow motion. I think Strive was basically designed for this character. Friends, thank you for watching. A massive shout out to our patrons. For just $1 a month, you can help support this channel and gain early access to upcoming videos. Up next is the hot-blooded destroyer, Paul Phoenix.